Can I draw 50 Spidermen in 7 days? Maybe? I don't actually know, but let's just jump right into it. So I guess some clarification before I start. I really like drawing Spider-Man, especially because my family finally got around to watching Into and Across the Spider-Verse. So that's kind of why I made this video, just as an excuse to draw as many Spider-Men as possible. The first day started off pretty smooth. I actually went traditional because I felt like it. I really like these ones. I think they're funny. For digital, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into until after I realized I have to draw 50 Spider-Men, and it took me like 2 hours to draw the traditional ones. I knew that if I tried doing digital, I'd want to color and ink and just make them full-blown finished pieces, which would take me probably like an hour, 40 minutes tops. And so I had to get creative with ways to force myself to be productive. So as you can see for this first Spider-Man, Miles Morales, one of my favorite to draw, I went to Magma again because I find that if I'm drawing on Magma, which if you didn't know is a program that multiple artists can do at the same time, I have a less pressure for it to be perfect and more just it to be fun for other people to enjoy. Kind of like I'm my worst critic, but for some reason it comforts me having other people drawing on the same canvas and just having fun. I don't know if that made any sense. It probably didn't, but I will say I did probably about 10 of my Spider-Man drawings on Magma, and it's fun because as soon as you start drawing a popular character from a franchise, you get people that'll start drawing right next to you. I can't remember if I showed it, but there was one person that just started drawing Spider-Man, and it was fun. I like how on Magma you don't have to talk to have fun with each other. It's an experience of its own, and it really just made these first Spider-Man really fun for me. Now, I'm not going to be showing speed paints of all 50 Spider-Men because then this video would be like 30 minutes long, and I'm not willing to make a 30-minute long video. Oh yeah, those were the people that were drawing Spider-Man with me, and they made the one a cat, and I love him. I love him. So this was the second one. I did not have screen recording. Again, someone was drawing Spider-Man next to me, and it was just really fun. I tried to create my own live drawing jam to see if I could just get people to draw Spider-Man with me. It didn't really work, but here's the Spider-Man that I got out of this. Again, here's some more Magma art that I did. Eventually, I decided to go to my own canvas, and I really wanted to replicate this one piece from the movie, as you can see in the picture in the top corner. And I told myself, you can't spend hours on this. It was like 10 o'clock at night, way too late for me to be doing art. And so I said, you get 30 minutes. You only get 30 minutes. And I'm really glad I gave myself that timer because it forced me to move fast and to just focus on the colors and the overall just action and emotion that come from the conflicting blues and reds. I had so much fun just kind of being messy and throwing in as many pieces as I wanted. I really wonder what I could have done with more time, but when I showed this piece to a couple of my friends, they had a harder time telling the difference at first, which really meant a lot to me, and this became one of my absolute favorite pieces. If you can't tell, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice sounds kind of nasally, and I'm constantly having to swallow, so sorry about that. This day was honestly very interesting. One, because I started experimenting with designing my own Spider-Woman, but also because I tried tackling, in my opinion, the hardest Spider-Man to draw, which would be Hobie Brown, but yeah, we're not there yet. So here is my original Spider-Woman. I wanted to give her a skirt and it didn't work out. I eventually got rid of it, but yeah. Hobie Brown, yeah. He's one of my favorite characters from Across the Spider-Verse. I love his just I don't care personality, but in the end, he does care. He just has a different way of showing it. I loved that about him. I love how unpredictable he is. I just value that the animators took the time to make him even different with their animating styles. I just love it, but I was like, no, how do I do this? I didn't know how to draw him and give him justice. Like, I drew him holding his guitar, which looked fine, but it looked too normal. So I drew him jumping, which made him look kind of like Mario, and that just, no, I didn't want a Mario hopping Hobie Brown. So I decided to just do like a portrait of his head, and it was not going well. It was kind of creepy because my brain was like, you need to be messy, you need to be wild and crazy, and no, just no. I could already tell while I was drawing this that it was going downhill fast. But I didn't stop. I was like, I'm getting this in as one of the 50 Spider-Men, so I need to make this semi-presentable. And that just proceeded with me trying different styles from all the different references that I had. I threw together a background, which I liked the background in the end. I thought it looked really cool. I tried giving that like comic book style dots. Didn't really work out the way I wanted, like everything in this piece. But yeah, by now I was starting to get another idea for another try. But yeah, I didn't do him justice. So I wanted to try again. While I was failing to draw him the first time, my mind obviously went, he has spikes on his head. And like, how does he function? And so my brain went, well, what happened if he did a somersault? Like, what if he got down on his knees and was trying to do a somersault? Would he get stuck? Would he somehow flip through it or something? I don't know. But I still really wanted to draw Hobie Brown, and I knew that the only way I was going to accomplish drawing him was if I had him in a pose that I was willing to work hours on. And for some reason, Hobie Brown doing a somersault really appealed to me, and so I struggled. I struggled with proportions, and I struggled with the pose, and I struggled with the detailing, but I didn't give up because I was determined to see the most complicated Spider-Man with spikes on his head do a somersault. And being the crazy person I am, I kept with it. And I don't even know what... His proportions are still really messed up because he's naturally a really long character. I noticed that a lot in his references, but I think I made him a little too long, but still, honestly, seeing his janky proportions trying to do a somersault anyways honestly makes the whole thing funnier. I was scared to color. There are so many weird shading techniques. This was just, it was an experience, and I bet you couldn't guess. I didn't draw Hobie Brown again during this challenge. This was the one and done attempt of me drawing messy and drawing ridiculous poses. Honestly, I don't think any of my drawings from this moment are as ridiculous as Hobie Brown doing a somersault. But it definitely taught me something, that if you really want to practice and get better at something, choose something that you're willing to toil with. Something that excites you. Like, if you like drawing cats and you really just want to get better at cats, draw like a cat that you know, or just something that means something to you. Because even though I was drawing one of the hardest Spider-Men, I kept going because I really wanted to see him in this pose. And I love how it turned out. It was really fun, and it was cool. So everything was going great, and then I got, sick. But this turned out to be a good thing, because in the span of me being sick, I drew 13 spider people in one day. I was in my bed with nothing else to do. I felt terrible, and I just drew spider person after spider person after spider person. And it was kind of nuts. I worked on my original Spider Woman's design. I did like 2 variations, but I'm counting it as one because it's the same model. But yeah, after a while, I kind of got tired of her and I wanted to design a new spider person. But before I did that, I drew her in magma situations alongside other OCs. That was really fun. And yeah, by the end of it, I went to bed and reflected the next day that I had drawn 13 spider people. Next day, still sick, but I did end up designing this Spider Woman based off an actual spider, and that was fun. I had so much fun with her, and as you will see, she will turn up a lot. But to spice up the challenge, I pulled out a Spider-Verse random character wheel and spun it a few times to get a random character. I didn't even know who some of these characters were. I never read the comics. This one's one of my weaker drawings. This one was fun, but I got tired coloring really fast. And then this frog character, I see it and I think frog. Yeah, that was the end of day 5. So I think I got this right. Day 6, I didn't draw anything. I think I had a lot of school that I had to catch up on, and I just did not have a lot of time to actually work on spider people. But day 7, I did a peacock spider spread, and honestly, I just love this spread so much. I love these guys, and I love this one right there. It was a great day. So sadly, in the midst of me doing school, being sick, and keeping track of the days, I miscalculated, and I accidentally drew the final amount of Spider-Men that I needed on the 8th day and not the 7th. So I drew these guys. I wanted to put my new peacock spider with the other guys. I drew a more peacock spread, but by the time I finished, I realized I had messed up the challenge. Also, if you didn't notice, I drew 51 spider people. So not only did I mess up the time frame, I also messed up how many spider people I drew. But all in all, I love these guys. These are my favorite pieces out of the entire week, and yeah, it showed me that I can draw 51 spider people in 8 days. But yeah, that's all for now. Maybe when Beyond the Spider-Verse finally comes out, I'll draw 100 spider people, but I'm not making any promises. This was kind of hard. Very hard. And I'm not drawing Hobie Brown doing a cartwheel, so that's all. Goodbye!